Hello?
Yeah. Hello. Hey, you there?
Hello?
Who
Check.
is it?
Check?
Oh, there's a ghost in the system. I heard it.
All
What's
right.
up, fellas?
What's up?
What's happening?
I think we're all here.
Sounds like all this staying alone stuff's getting to us.
I know, man.
Yeah,
I don't just
yeah.
bang my head
losing our
against the
mind.
mic. It's definitely shit. All right. This is your boy Trev.
Ghost Hunter.
This is Steven.
All right. We're all here.
Well, you guys are there. I'm here.
Yeah, this is true. But
And
we're all
where you are, that's where you are.
that's where you
Exactly.
stay. Please.
Wherever you are.
6
is
feet of
that's where you
distance. Back up. Back up.
are. So we're still all in quarantine. Let's talk about that for 5 seconds.
Horribly. Yeah, man. They keep dragging it out longer and longer, but we're going to break quarantine, and me and Ghost are going to head down to Virginia and
Yep.
visit Steven, man. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, man, I'm stoked. We're looking forward to it. Yes, we will be practicing responsible social distancing, meaning they're in the guest house and they will be separate and we'll only cuddle at. No, we won't even go down that route.
I thought you meant
Safer for all.
like we're just gonna put 2 shooters up front and then I'll call in the back. That will be our social distancing, and then just
Oh,
As long as
no.
you don't
We will socially distance by getting the fuck away from everybody.
as long as you don't have the Rona, I don't, so we'll be
No,
fine. I'm
all
not
clear
worried about
here.
it. All queer here?
Well,
Yeah, never mind. I won't go there.
yeah.
No, man, we got some big things happening. I know it's kind of been crazy. We all been like doing our part, scouting, getting out there, fishing, just kind of keeping through this quarantine. I know it. I mean, I've been fishing my
building
ass
a new
off.
kitchen.
Yep, you built the outdoor kitchen. I'm building
Well,
a
working
new
on it.
studio.
Yeah, let's talk about the fucking new studio real quick, dude. You guys, your dad's been hammering away at that with you.
Yeah, so it's time for me because a lot of you guys probably don't know, but I record in what was supposed to be the dining room, but it's now turned into the studio. So I am just happy to get down and have my own studio. My dad's helping me redesign and finish the basement. So I'm actually gonna have like a studio side guest guest bedroom kind of thing, like man cave, place for friends to stay when they come into town to hunt or fish with me. So we're kind of building that cool fancy LED lights and just kind of badass place to hang out, and we got our own little space when we're doing videos and so on and so forth. So everyone's
That's
kind of got their
awesome.
cool little thing. I know Steven has his studio, which is really badass. We all see pictures of that and computers.
Ghost got his kitchen, which
Working on it.
you're starting to make everyone jealous.
I'm getting very excited about what this room is turning into. It's taking a little bit of time, but hey, a lot of good things happening. People
Dude, I
are
ain't gonna lie.
waiting.
I would not get shit done if we went and recorded at your place because I'd be too busy stuffing my face.
Dude, eating and drinking is all that there is to do right now. And I'm fighting it so fucking hard. Like so I've been cooking a lot of stuff and giving it to the family. But yeah, we're pumped about the room. It's gonna be done by next week. Probably by the time we get back from our savage trip to the mountains with CU in Virginia.
Hell yeah.
'Cause I just can't, like, that picture that your wife posted today just made me melt. Like, it just with the green, the mountains, everything. It's just we all think we need this trip to get away. We all do.
Yeah.
We haven't seen each other in a while, man. We definitely need this trip. I don't want to get like crazy emotional or nothing, but I do want to get emotional about one thing and one thing only, real quick, real fast. I got the text message that Mock at Nor'easter Game Calls sent out our calls.
Oh
So
shit.
the new Prospector series is on its way. With that, and it's going to be with the quarantine. There's going to be some crazy shit that we do here on the Outdoor Drive to make everybody get through what they're getting through. We kind of need a little bit of help from the supporters and listeners on social media to do so. But when the Prospector series gets here, we are going to give away a Prospector pot call. That's one giveaway. We're going to give away a box call to a youth. So pay attention for that. And then there's a couple other things that are coming down that we're actually going to give away also. I think, honestly, I think there's a little mother clucker with the Outdoor Drive logo on it that we're going to give away.
Yeah, man.
There's going to be a lot of stuff. So we kind of want to give back in this time of need. And we'll definitely send you a quarantine package. But before that happens and before that gets here, I do have a giveaway. That we are going to give away a Death Wish coffee quarantine pack. Um,
Nice.
yeah. So I have a Death Wish tumbler, instant coffee, which has 8 cups of coffee inside of it, and then 2 cold brews with a sticker that I'm going to give away. And I will release the giveaway on social media Friday. No.
which
Should
will
we do
be
it
the day
Friday?
this comes out.
The day that this comes out. Um, do we
Ti-
want to do Friday? No, I'm gonna do Saturday because I want to let
Save it for the
everybody
weekend.
see what's going. Yeah, so I'm gonna save it for the weekend. So tomorrow, when in real world, it would be in podcast world, it's gonna be Saturday. In real world, it is Saturday. So Saturday, look out for that. Watch on social media. We'll do the giveaways on there on both social media platforms. So on Facebook, you can go on there and do and follow the rules there to get in on that one. But I'll give you extra points and extra chances to win if you go on to Instagram and do it there also. You can find us at the outdoordrive.com, outdoor drive on Instagram. So if you go there, then you'll get extra bonus points to get in if you follow the rules there. So boom.
Sweet.
And then to go away with the giveaways, if we get to a certain amount, I have something very special that you all need to pay attention to because we're going to give away the biggest thing that's ever been given away on a podcast thus far. And I'm not going to ruin that now, but we will talk about it for a long time to come. And I'll give away that soon.
Keep liking, sharing, following, driving
Yes,
people to this because when we hit a certain level, there is something
huge,
big.
huge.
I have
Something
goosebumps.
that you
It's
guys
so
will
crazy.
all look forward to doing. Something you guys have all been following and watching. So I'm gonna give it away. Fuck it. So anyways, so back to the good and the grind of life.
Birds.
Birds,
Let's
turkeys
get
are
that.
going fucking nuts right now.
Birds. They're everywhere.
They
I hear
are.
birds the word.
That
Bird
is
is
the
the
word.
word. Well, the word is Stephen. What is going on in Virginia that we have to look forward to when we get down there?
The birds are hot. They are out. They are moving. And it's from what I'm seeing in the spots that we plan on going, we're just right. It's they're not nesting. They're not too henned up. They're not in those difficult areas. They're still setting the pecking order in a couple of places. So we're going to have some fun.
Kind of
Definitely
shake
look.
their shit up. We got to shake their shit up. They're out there running around thinking everything's fine, doing animal things. But yeah, that's not going to stop us from traveling down and seeing you guys. It's just going to be. I'm since I found out I was going on Monday, I haven't been able to sleep. I haven't been able to eat right. I haven't been drinking because I think that's going to happen when we all get together. We're going to try to keep it, to a, whatever. We're going to fucking do whatever we want. Yeah, I'm just super excited about it. And we're thankful and lucky enough to have your state allow non-resident hunters to come in and purchase it. You're in a safe zone right now. Like we're not just traveling just to travel. We're also going to a very safe place. There's no cases in your area. Everyone seems to be respecting the whole distance thing. And, we need this. We need to get out.
Agreed. Just make sure you Lysol your entire damn car after you drive through a couple of those states you got to go around.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I
I
don't
mean,
need.
we're not stopping. We're going straight from here to there. 6.5 hours in the car, complete
Yep.
straight drive. Being very careful. With the quarantine. I mean, with the stress and everything, man. And I can't emphasize this enough, man. You guys got to still live your lives, but you have to live them very precautiously.
Be smart
I,
about it.
I'm still fishing every day. I'm still scouting every day. I'm still hiking. I just don't stop at the store to get a coffee. I don't stop to go and get gas or hang out with friends or bullshit or none of that stuff. It's in, out, Lysol, hand sanitizer, masks. Just pay attention, man. And it's
Ozone.
very ozone is huge.
Right.
My ozone is constantly running in my house. It's constantly running in my cars. You have to, because this is a disease or a virus that can be um, maintained, and it's something that you are in control of. Um, is take care of yourself, and that's what we're doing. We're taking care of ourselves
To
and
help take care of
headed
others,
south.
that's what we're trying to do. Take care of
You have
others,
to
take care of yourself. Just it is what it is. And
reach
honestly,
out.
man, by you reaching out and the way you just put it down like that, it almost made me feel sad for a minute, but we're still up and doing what we love to do. What
Hmm.
makes us, doing that drive, getting it going. So
That's
appreciate it.
huge.
Hell yeah, it's going to be a good time, boys. We look
All
forward
right.
to it.
Not as much of a good time as that we're about to have.
You ain't kidding. It got a little wild.
It
Real
does.
wild.
It always does, man. We have on today Drew Walter, BoneYard from Wild Edge Inc. Somebody that is he's somebody I look up to, a brother, um, uh, a fucking family man, a good father, a very good businessman, somebody that's, stuck by us through thick and thin, and somebody that, I just love fucking hanging out with.
It's
If you
fucking
want to
the
see a
man.
if you want to see a good example of somebody in the outdoor industry, that's your man.
For sure. That
All
balance,
day.
that love, that brotherhood, compassion.
Just good people.
That's it, man.
Real. Real company, real guy, real shit.
So further ado,
Let's roll.
let's roll.
Nice shot.
Here comes a shooter. Shooter. Big buck.
Stacked.
Get the gas.
All right, we're back on the phone here at the Outdoor Drive with a good friend, brother in arms, somebody I actually look up to in the outdoor industry, somebody who is an innovator and the head of the mobile hunting setup.
Revolution.
World.
Amazing.
Right. It's pretty cool.
We're back on the phone with Drew Walter, aka BoneYard. What's up, Drew?
What's happening, boys?
Man, it's been a long time coming, bro.
It has. We're all quarantined. I can't even see your
Yeah.
big head.
I know. It's definitely a sad thing.
Well, Trev does have that face for radio, so
Yeah, he does.
No, that's you with your jazz voice, bro.
you're just trying to get me to do it.
Oh, well, let's do this right. Let's turn this key. Let's get this thing underway. Drew, why don't you explain who you are, where you're from, what you do, and all that good stuff?
All right. My name is Drew Walter, officially Andrew. I'm a president, owner of Wild Edge Incorporated. I live in East Haddam, Connecticut. I was raised here. I live with my my wife and my two boys. And life's a little crazy right now. I have a 5-week-old at home and a 2.5-year-old. But that's who I am, and that's what life's like right now.
It's definitely crazy.
Hell
It
yeah.
is a little crazy.
I can only imagine, dude. Especially, and congratulations on the new baby. I cannot wait to meet him. I can't wait for
Oh,
this
thank you.
quarantine to be over, man. This is definitely makes things tough for sure.
Oh, it does. Yeah, no, he's good shit. He's barely ever cries. He's just super chill, and his big brother's doing awesome. So
The Dino Man.
a dinosaur, man.
That's what he is. Every
He's
time
a
I see him.
wild man. He gets more and more wild every day.
So it's definitely crazy. I mean, having a business and now having 2 kids and balancing all that stuff, it's probably not an easy thing. And with the quarantine,
Yeah, no, it's definitely not easy, but we're lucky enough to have family super close. We got grandma right down the road. My parents, a couple miles away. My sisters are close, so family's all around, and that helps a ton.
speaking of being close, you have a new shop that you just built pretty close to home.
Yep, yeah, right down the road. We on our land. I put up a pretty good sized shop. We're chipping away at it. Finally got half the roof on, so hopefully by this summer we'll be moved in and fully operating out of it.
You
And
must be really pumped to be able to do that and grow
Yeah,
because
no,
you've grown.
it's been my dream to build this shop. I rented for so long, and then this is my third this is my third shop, but it'll be the forever shop hopefully. So it'll be awesome to have all the space and to actually be able to produce more of our products in house.
hell yeah, man, that thing looks badass.
Yeah, it's a big girl.
So exactly what are you going to do in that shop? So why don't you go into exactly what Wild Edge is? A lot of people may not know, or they do know, or so on and so forth. But why don't you
Yeah.
explain a little bit what Wild Edge is and what they do?
So we started with our first product, the step ladder, invented by Jim Stepp. He's a Vietnam vet and close family friend of ours. He lost his leg in Vietnam, so he was a metal fabricator, welder his whole life, and he actually just invented these steps out of necessity to climb the tree with his good leg. So he had to put both feet on a step and bring his good leg up one at a time. He couldn't do alternate steps, and he wanted something compact and versatile. So he invented them quite a few years back, and I was traveling a lot for work, and kind of got sick of traveling, wanted to stay home more. So he offered, for me to take the step ladder to market and run with it. So that's what I did. That's how it started. Just selling the steps that evolved into all our rope products, all our climbing systems, the carabiners, ropes, the ducks, ascenders, everything, which then evolved into developing a saddle and really just focusing on being the leader in mobile hunting. So that
Yeah,
that we started, I bounced around, rented a couple shops, bought a property, kind of downsized a little bit in preparation to build this shop. So this shop, the goal is to have pretty much everything manufactured in house. So I'm going to be fully set up with robotic welders and CNC machines, milling machines, and just keep everything in house and keep the quality control, right under a roof.
yeah, because you right along the way you've been American made and American owned.
Yep. Yeah. So all our metal products right now are made in Texas. The perch and the steps. So we're slowly getting to the point where we can have more and more in house.
And they're not only used for mobile, also. So like your presets with regular stands, so on and so forth. I mean,
Right. Yep.
they're badass.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, all my presets, I'll go in the woods with a set of 16 and you know 16 or 18 steps, put them all in the tree and leave them all seasoned. Or my mobile setup, I'm shrinking down to 3 or 5 steps.
So how many steps does it take to get to 20 feet?
As many as you want, buddy.
I figured I'd get there. I
There's like
needed a
Lydia
laugh out
said,
of you.
yeah, you know that video. Lydia did it,
Yeah,
don't you? How many steps
yeah.
to get 18 feet? What'd she say? However many the
However
fuck
the
you want
fuck
or something.
exactly. That's the
Yeah, no, with all
way.
the aiders, naders, swayers, all the aider systems out there, it's like, shit, guys are getting 20 feet with 3 or 4 steps.
Yeah, it's incredible what they actually do and how quick they actually set up, and it definitely takes a little bit of tinkering with and playing with to get your knot right and how to set them properly and so on and
Yeah,
so forth. I mean, you have a ton of YouTube videos, and I know a bunch of the other guys do, Greg Staggs, and there's a ton of videos out there about how to actually properly use them because you see it a lot on the internet and a lot of different groups where guys are like, oh, I can't get them. They kind of pull off the tree and so on and so forth. You're just not doing it tight enough. Or the
yeah.
knot's not right, or
It's not something you grab, open the box, and go in the dark in the woods and start throwing up a setup. You got to practice them a little bit. Once you get the hang of it, it's pretty foolproof.
well, you should be practicing with your regular sticks. Well, you should be practicing with anything that you use when you're sending up into a tree, anyways.
Right, and everyone always wants to know, how do you do it? What do you do? What do you do? How do you do this? Everyone's asking everyone else how to do something. How do you do your setup? How do you do this? And it's great to see other options, but at the same time, you got to find what works for you. My system isn't going to be the same system you're going to use. You could put 20 guys in a room. If they all had their setup there, guarantee you no one's going to be the same.
Right, exactly. I mean, and I use a step to even hold my backpack, and then it's at my knee, so I don't have to wear knee pads.
Right.
There's just like little things that you gradually obtain as you go through a season to try and build your
Right.
build.
Yeah,
I
build your
guess.
setup.
Yeah.
No, I tell guys all the time, it's like when you're out scouting or when you're doing whatever, shed hunting, bring your setup with you and find a spot that looks good and just climb the tree and pretend you're hunting and set up or go in the backyard and pick every single tree that you could possibly get your hands on and climb it. Because every time you climb any tree, it's going to be it's going to be different. Something's going to be different about it. Your setup might maybe the same, but something is going to be different about that setup.
So where can people find the Wild Edge Steps?
WildEdgeInc.com.
And you have everything there. You guys have a YouTube channel on how to do these things,
Yep,
everything that you
YouTube,
have.
Instagram, Facebook. Yep.
There's
With this
just about anything
quarantine,
there.
we've been hammering on a bunch of videos, instructional videos, and how to. I just did a video on all the different platform setups. Ring of steps to a perch with a ring of steps. All the different options.
Hey, I love the ring of steps. That's how I set up, is a ring of steps.
Yeah,
It's just so comfortable and being able to move, and like if you have a deer that comes from one side or the other, you can just step over to one side and you're covering a lot of ground, like
yeah,
240 degrees at that point.
yeah. It locks you right into the tree. It's almost like a stirrup. And you shove your toe in it, your heel in it, you're locked in. Where so many people get the misconception, they think the instant they put a saddle on, they want to stand on a big platform like it's a tree stand. If you have a giant platform, you're defeating the whole purpose. If you have one platform, you can't really get all the way around the tree. So you kind of need that other option of another step or something else around the tree. And I'd say the best option for a platform, in my opinion, you have a couple of steps, is a big branch.
And using that to your advantage.
Oh heck yeah! As you're climbing, you get to a nice, healthy limb that's coming off the tree, and because you have that whole length to max your feet out, put your foot in the crotch of the limb and the trunk of the tree. It works out sweet. I've killed deer by just literally one step in the middle and then having two limbs on each side.
I've definitely been through that. Like I forgot my ring of steps because I normally attach them to my backpack, and then I get up in the tree and I'm like, oh, I forgot it. So then I just use a branch to kind of
Yep.
mobilize myself around the tree. It works very well.
It's free too.
Yeah, exactly. So I guess enough about Wild Edge, man. We want to know about BoneYard and what you do, man, because you grew up doing this your entire life, man, from a young person and growing up in a family, killing big deer.
Yep.
So why don't you go into that, man? How you got started, what you do, and so on and so forth.
My dad was a pretty avid outdoorsman growing up. Uh, he didn't kill a deer with a gun until a couple of years ago. Jim Stepp actually gave him a nice 243. It was funny. My dad literally only killed deer with his bow. Everything with his bow. We killed birds with up. Grew up doing a ton of upland bird hunting with our Vislas with guns, obviously. But when it came to deer, it was strictly bow. So that's how I grew up, and I killed. I can't tell you how many deer I killed with a bow before I even picked up a gun. But so a couple of years ago when Jim gave him that gun, it was funny. He went out, and my dad's a meat hunter. He doesn't give a shit about racks. So a spike came in, and he's like, I felt terrible. He said the thing came into 10 yards, and I just blew it up, and it ran 2 feet and fell over. I'm like, yep, that's gun hunting, Dad. But anyway, we grew up bird hunting. My neighbor across the street called Captain, he got me into waterfowl hunting, deep sea fishing, um, turkey hunting, basically anything that I could kill, I killed growing up. And anyone that knows me knows that I was, and still am, complete psychotic about hunting. I just live and breathe it, and it's just a complete obsession.
Absolutely. I mean, you did it for a job for a while.
Yep. Yeah, I worked for a company doing suburban deer management. So I was a sharpshooter, travel all over the country, go into communities and kill a couple hundred deer in a week or two.
And you become a primal dude at that point where when you come back home, man, you're really just focusing on shooting big deer because
Yeah,
you see so
that's what
many
really
deer.
got me into trophy hunting was, after killing a couple thousand deer for work, I'd come home and it'd be like, a doe would walk by and I'd be like, fawns would come running in, like kind of like mess with your head a little bit. So I really, really got into, hunting big deer, mature deer. When I was a kid, I used to kill, 12, 15 deer a season. And then, that evolved into now I'll kill, if I'm lucky enough in a good season, 2 nice bucks and maybe a doe or two for friends and family for meat.
So when you say you're able to kill 15 deer, I guess this is something that I talk about a lot, but can you go into it, like how you're able to do such a thing with the, like, I guess we would call it like the urban management.
Well, it'd
Um,
be in like Connecticut, we have certain land zones. Like in my land zone, you can bait and you can get basically unlimited antlerless tags. So you get, whatever it is for your typical bow tags, you get 2 antlerless and 2 either sex tags. So once you burn through those tags, you can also get a doe replacement tag if you bring the head to a check station. And then after you kill 3 does, you can get an earn a buck tag. So you can basically kill as many deer as you want throughout the season. So when I was a kid, when I was a little savage, I'd in a typical season I'd kill at least 15 deer.
that's insane.
Yep.
It's crazy how Connecticut does that because not all states have that stuff. I mean, they have the urban deer control things and so on and so forth, but they
Right.
definitely, I mean, Connecticut definitely makes it fun, especially,
So I
not.
went to school up in Maine. Remember, you get there by hunting license, you're like, I can kill one fucking deer. Like
And
this
that's it.
sucks. Yeah, one deer the whole season. But they also have expanded archery season, which is in southern Maine, more towards the city limits of Portland and Gorham, where you can kill a couple more deer. But yeah, Connecticut isn't the best state to live in, but we do have plenty of opportunities to have some pretty good hunting.
And you actually took a very good deer this year. I mean, you always take a very good deer every year, but this one was kind of, I guess, was a little special to you, man.
Yeah, this was, it's like I always talk over the years, like, you know, there's so much on social media, guys naming deer and their hit list, and it's like here in Connecticut, it's like if I have 15, 20 truck cameras out and I'm covering tens of thousands of acres, public to private, I'd be lucky to have 2 deer on camera that I'd call, shooters, maybe 3 in a whole season. Over the summer that you're watching and that you're getting on camera more than just a picture of it traveling through. So when it comes down to actually this last couple of years, I've had 2 or 3 deer that I've actually been able to keep track of. And these are deer that I would have killed at 3.5 years old, but I just never got the chance. So then 4 years old, never got the chance. And finally, a couple of them were 5 and 6 years old. And this year was one of them. He wasn't a scoreable deer whatsoever. He'd be lucky if he breaks 100 inches, but he was a nice 5.5-year-old deer that just never ever had anything for a rack, but had the same exact style of rack. I passed him up when he was 2.5. Tried to kill him at 3.5, 4.5. Finally killed him at 5.5.
And that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about, Drew.
No,
I mean, that's you don't you measure in moments instead of inches, and you just to shoot a deer that's 5-6 years old in our state, like you said, 100 inches, 200 inches or not, that is a big, smart, mature animal, and
right.
he was in his prime, big
Yeah,
rack
and
or
he
not.
was. It's one of those things where the deer that just drives you nuts. It's like I saw him so much when he was younger, and then he gets to that 4 or 5 years old, and at 5 years old, I didn't see him until I killed him. That one day, I did something different. This was on a small 50-acre piece of land, and the one morning I did something different is when I killed him. Like completely different in how I accessed the whole property. So it's like how many times he knew I was there. He was around. As he got older, he never left. He lived on that little tiny 50-acre piece of land for that entire season.
And that's why I think your steps and your product is what makes people that extra edge of success, because
Right.
being able to be mobile and move throughout your hunt, the day, the season, the week, it doesn't matter. Those big bucks, they know. I don't care how good you play the wind and your entry and your exit. They just know. And if you move 50, 100 yards and he's sneaking around, I hear more people say stories of, I did something different today. I moved 100 yards and I shot the biggest buck of my life.
Yep.
So your product is right
it's an
for
animal that's their whole goal in life is to not get eaten or
Right.
killed. So they're living their life scared and in survival mode all the time. So
I think
you're a predator, so they know you're there.
I think
Guys
that's kind of
lose
what
sight of that.
Yeah, exactly. And I totally agree with you. I think that's what makes a lot of people very successful is being able to do that whole mobile game, man. Like it's not like so like my entire life I always went to the same stand, did the same thing year after year, like a lot of people do. And then when I met you, Drew, got into the whole mobile hunting game and you know, saddle hunting and then learned that bro, it's insane. I've seen 3 times as many deer as I've ever seen in a hunting season just being a mobile hunter and being a saddle hunter. Um, taking different approaches, being able to get into trees that I wouldn't be able to get into in past seasons. I killed my biggest buck to date just hunting out of an area that I probably couldn't have got into with a regular tree stand and being a saddle hunter, being able to get into those trees with steps and
Right.
hunting
And it just
that
makes
area.
everything so much easier and so simple. Go from I've seen pictures of you carrying your old Summit tree stand. You're climbing,
Yeah.
climbing the mountains and that. How different is it now to just wear your saddle in?
I went on a
It's
hunt with
insane.
Trev this past fall, and he watched me walk in with like 100 pounds of fucking gear on my back, laughing, and I'm like, "You're just walking in with that."
Yeah.
Like a little
Yeah.
little bag of fucking steps and his saddle and his bow, and but he
Yep.
forgot his arrows, but still, but like
That's a
it
normal experience.
Sounds
it
like
blew
Trev.
my mind. Why have I been doing this for so long? Like just
Yeah.
carrying this fucking heavy metal up these hills, but
Well,
yeah,
it's
man.
interesting, Ghost, that you bring that up because in Harrisburg, you actually finally gave in and you climbed up the pole there at his booth, and we got you in a saddle for the first time and let you play in it. And what happened there?
Blew my mind. Changed, blacked out,
Fucking
changed my
light bulb.
whole dude. It was like, why haven't I been doing this?
Yeah,
My
there's so many
range,
guys, like especially at the trade shows or guys that swing by the shops, like they're so against it. And like you force them into the saddle. The second they get in it, they look at you like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah, I told
it's
you, I'm not lying.
the motion and the range that you have now is because that was my biggest fear. I'm like, I'm gonna swing from what, and I'm gonna have one strong side and a weak side, and then you get up there and you're like, oh, I can shoot anywhere, and
This
I can
makes sense.
climb anything, like anything, and shoot anything right now. So like, it was a win-win. Comfortable, excited. I plan on doing big things with one this year. I really do.
Well,
I'm
see,
bringing one to Oregon in September to try to shoot an elk out of a fucking tree with one. That's my goal. That's
Well,
over a wallow. That's what we're gonna do.
you should be able to, because I mean, you were able to get up that pole in there and sit comfortably and feel comfortable hungover as you were.
Oh, it was.
That was a rough morning.
That's what happens when you drink at the trade shows, all of us.
Yeah.
Nothing
Trevor
good
buying
comes from
shots and forcing IPAs down our throats.
story of
Oh,
my
that
life.
was rough.
You guys are just lucky that they were out of pickle juice, okay? Let's be honest.
Oh, did he like fight a bartender for pickle juice? Or
Yeah, just
get all that
about.
stuff? And he said he didn't have some, and they found some, and it was fucking a big deal.
Who the fuck runs out of pickle juice?
Especially when we're there. I mean,
And
like,
when they make it
That was
in
the second
house.
year in a row too.
And that was the
oh,
whole Wild Edge crew and
that was
the outdoor drive, and yeah,
it was
that
it
was
was
a wild
packed.
time.
A little rowdy.
Drew pulled the slick move. He was like, "Yeah, I'll come out with you guys," and then the Wild Edge crew forced him into the truck so he couldn't go and fucking hang out with us, which was bullshit. I'm calling straight bullshit on that one. Just because you're smarter than us.
Yeah.
Oh
Season.
man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
but
just seeing.
that whole mobile setup and getting up in that tree for the first time. Now I walk around looking in the woods, saying, "I can climb that. I can climb that. I could put a set there." And I've never had that range ability or mindset. Totally,
And
this season's gonna get fucking weird.
yeah, even if you have presets up, it's all you have to do is throw your saddle on, hop in your truck, your bow, your backpack, and you go. You're not
Right.
you're not carrying a tree stand or worried about putting tree stands all over the woods, and it's just makes life so much easier.
Now, Drew, you do something that nobody in this industry does, man. You see a lot of, husband wife teams. You see a lot of, friends teams, but you're a brother sister team, which is
Oh
not
yeah,
something you see in this industry, man.
yeah. We have it's a family affair around here. So Lydia, my sister, works with me every day. We're super close. She hunts with me. She's a little killer herself. So yeah, Lydia works with us. She's head of marketing. My wife April handles all the finances and billing. My mother-in-law works for us doing the customer service, a lot of emails. My cousin works for us doing all the shipping. My other cousin works part-time for us, so it's a big family around here. But Lydia and I are the main two that work together the most.
And you guys hunt together regularly.
Yep.
I mean, you constantly see Lydia in the tree, and she's a killer herself. Like,
Yeah,
She's a
when she was
beast.
younger, she would, she'd come with me, and we'd always be together. I'd be filming her. I filmed her kill every deer, up to like 5 or 6 deer, and then the last couple of years, she got confident enough, especially with saddle hunting, which made it a huge difference. These past 2 years, she's been going out on her own. So this season, I said, I'm not, especially this season, I said, I'm not holding your hand. I'm not setting you up. You find your own property. You do your own scouting. I'll give you advice. I'll scout with you, but you're on your own. And she did awesome.
Hell yeah.
She learned a ton.
and that's one thing with saddle hunting. I mean, like, that's your baby sister, so you worry about her being in the tree, and the safety part of it is huge, man, because you're constantly
But
locked to the tree. You don't have to worry about it, like climbing, ascending, and descending. I mean, that's one of the bonuses definitely to saddle hunting. I think a lot of people don't understand that you're constantly locked to the tree, and it's safer than anything else. I mean, that was
yeah,
one of my fears, being such a big fucking dude and being up in the tree. Like, it's a scary thing, but you're
yeah,
always locked in, man.
you're always attached to the tree. That's the whole goal of it. So and you can't forget your safety harness because it's around your waist.
And I
Yeah,
mean, it's
I can remember sending her to a couple of my presets, um, years and years ago, where there'd be a tree stand there, or even when she first got into saddle hunting, I'd be scared shitless. It'd be dark. I hadn't heard from her for an hour. I'm like, Jesus Christ, is she laying on the ground upside down or what? So, but now, especially with mobile setups, it's like you have to be locked in. You have to have your lines lying around the tree. You have to then hook your tether in. I mean, it just makes it brainlessly easy it forces you to be safe.
absolutely. And then another thing with the steps, man, is something that you brought to light also, is that you can actually lock your tethered or your linesman right into your step. So you're
Yeah,
locked to
that's
the
what I
tree
do
then.
a ton of times. Guys have that thought that they have to have 3 dump pouches. They have to have 3 ropes and carabiners and all this. 90% of the time, I walk in with my lines in line, which is that converts to my tether. So as I'm climbing, I come to a limb. When I have to unhook my lines in line, I just hook a carabiner to my bridge, snap it right to a step, and then unhook my lines in line, go around the limb, attach it back to my loop, boom, unclip from the step, and I keep going. When I get to the top, my climbing height, same thing. Snap into a step, lines in line comes off, becomes my tether.
It's
And then
genius.
and you're safe at all times, man.
Yep.
It's definitely a crazy thing.
I mean,
Yep.
I don't know about you guys, but I cannot hunt properly and give my attention if I'm not safe. Like, I've forgotten safety harnesses back in the day and just been up in a tree and did it, and it's just an uncomfortable feeling. And I don't think anyone nowadays should be not harnessed in.
Oh
If you're
no, I can
not
remember
using
as a
one,
kid, yeah, sitting in a tree stand, and I rarely ever wore a safety harness unless my dad
no.
was yelling at me walking out the door and forced me to use it. But I'd be sitting in a tree stand. You get that feeling where you're falling asleep, you're going forward,
Oh yeah,
and you're about to go ass over tea
chicken
kettle.
drills.
Yeah, so it's like with saddle hunting, you have to be tied into the tree.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Now
We
those
did some,
things.
just touching on the steps real quick. A lot of people seem to have been concerned with, the weight and what they'll hold and what they'll do. You, you are lifting
Sorry. I
equipment
didn't.
on these some bitches.
Yep. Yeah,
So
I've hung 4-wheelers with me standing on it. I lift the rear end of my tractor up. I picked up the whole front end of my 8,000-pound excavator. I had the blade 3 feet off the ground before the rope actually broke. The other day I actually did a video. I put my 2,000-pound scale. I attached it to the perch, and then had our new 6 millimeter Prusik and the 8 millimeter rope attached to the scale. And I pulled down on the perch. I hit just over 1,000 pounds, and the step actually just bent. So it bent the step all the way over, and then it just finally just flipped over. But it went over 1,000 pounds.
for all the big guys out there, weight's not an issue.
Yeah, no, it's
I
funny.
mean,
So that's the thing. All the saddle hunting equipment, it's like every rope's rated for 4 or 5 thousand pounds, and it's complete overkill. But it's everything's if it's climbing rated, it's safer than you'll ever need to worry about.
Especially for the bigger guys. I mean, let's be honest. Us rednecks are not the littlest guys in the world.
I was waiting
And
on you to jump in, Trev.
yeah, no, and you know what? And it's so I'll go into the tree stand thing and like how it's kind of like, but this has changed my hunting game. Um, Especially before when I wasn't the fittest dude in the world. Now I'm a little bit more and a little bit more limber, so on and so forth, and stopped eating Twinkies and ho-hos when I'm on the road. But the when I was in a tree stand, they're only rated for fucking 300 pounds. Well, I was 280. And then you put 20 pounds with a backpack and your gun or whatever, and then you're in a tree and now you're getting a little leery. When you're in a saddle, I'll carry someone on my back, and not have to worry about it. I mean, just metaphorically, because I could never carry anybody on my back, but um, you're a lot safer up there, man. And it's definitely it changes a lot of things. You don't have to worry about it. You can go home to your wife and kids. You don't have to worry about those things. So saddle hunting has definitely changed it for a lot of us. And it's been around forever.
And you just feel like a ninja.
You do. You definitely feel like a ninja. And that's the other thing with them. Like the way that you sit in a tree. I mean, how many times have you had a deer look up at you and then just go back to grazing or doing its thing because you're actually set on a branch instead? You look like a branch more than you look like you're 5 feet out from the tree and just a blob.
Yeah, people too. Can't tell you how many people I've had walk by me, and they never see you.
Because you actually look like when you're skylined, you actually look like a tree and you're
Yeah,
not just
you look like a limb. It's like when you're still hunting. You know, you're looking for small features of the deer, like you're looking for his back. So his back being parallel to the ground. You're looking for an ear. You're looking for little tiny things. So like when you walk through the woods, you see a tree stand that's coming straight off the tree at a 90-degree angle. You're like, it just doesn't look natural. So when you're saddle hunting, you're at a 45 or coming off the tree just like a limb.
absolutely. So you're not only a hunter, man, but you're into bow fishing, fishing. I mean, you do just about everything in the outdoors, not just hunting.
Oh yeah, everyone's asking, "Are you pumped for turkey season?" I'm like, no, I'm itching to go stick some fish.
Yeah.
I'm dying to go bow fishing.
I know.
I looked at my wife the other night. I'm like, babe, I think tonight I might go bow fishing. She looked at me like she wanted to kill me. I'm like, okay, I'll wait a little bit. I'll wait till the little guy's sleeping more than 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've been on your ass too, texting you. We going bow fishing? We going bow fishing? We
Yeah,
going
every
bow
time it
fishing?
gets good too, then we get all this rain and then the
I
river just
know.
muddies up. But it'll get good soon.
And that's another thing. I mean, like, take us through that. Like how you bow fish and what you do, man, because it's not just hunting, dude.
Yeah, no, we got obsessed with it. I always wanted to try it. My buddy took me out during the day once. We went out by the casino and stuck my first fish, and I was like, "This is insane. This is the most fun I've ever had." And but then I kept, with the glare and the sun and everything, I'm like, "This has got to be way better at night. Like nighttime's got to be the right time to do this." So we went out, my buddies and I. We got these cheap ass rigs, threw it on. We had one bow with a hand reel on it. I had one arrow, and we go out with tack lights on our just tape tack lights onto our bows, and we started killing fish, and that turned into then we got put a pallet on the front of the boat, and that turned into a shitty aluminum platform, and that turned into a super fucking crazy platform that I spent a whole winter building. That turned into 14 LED lights on the boat, and then turned into two trolling motors, and now we have complete nitro setups with the bows and real gear, and we just got so obsessed. But it's just so fun because you're hunting fish. I get so bored with just normal fishing, it drives me nuts. But when you're just searching for fish, and then when you stick a 40, 50 pound carp with an arrow and you're hand line pulling it in, nothing gets better than that. And you start at sunset and you look at your watch, it's 4 a.m. You're like, well, fuck it. Might as well go till the sun comes up. And we'll kill
Absolutely.
on a good night. I mean, we'll kill 40, 50 carp.
And not only just carp, man. You shoot butterflies, like a lot of butterflies.
Yeah, you're the one that, kind of got me thinking about it because you used to do a ton of carp fishing and about how rare that was. Then I started talking to like other guys around the country, Guys like Bow Fishing TV, Jason, he was saying he's out in Missouri. He's like, I'm showing him pictures. He's like, holy fuck, those are massive. I'm like, are they? Like, those are just average fish that we're shooting. He's like, you don't understand how good you have it on the Connecticut River. Like he said, you have some monster carp. So then we
Mhm.
started really thinking about it. Nobody did it around here. Like, nobody bowfish. They see my boat at the gas station, like, what the fuck is that? Like, don't worry about it. But yeah, no, we have some of the best bow fishing around the country right here, right in my
Yeah,
backyard.
and they're protected.
Yeah, stupid new rule.
Don't get me going.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy that they actually do that because, you know, another places they've definitely they fucking they just kill barrels and barrels and barrels worth of fish, and we're only allowed to shoot fucking 2 in our creel limit.
I think they upped it to 5 because
Oh,
it's the
I'm sorry.
trophy carp management area, what they call it, and it's basically just so the state can make money because people come from all over Europe. They come here to carp fish. So
And they just keep them protected, which was something that kind of got passed underneath
Yeah.
but when
I
it
talked
is
to
what
one
it
of
is.
the DP guys. I said, so how am I going to measure a fish that's underwater if I'm shooting with an arrow? I said, can I shoot it, bring it on the boat, measure it, and then release it? They're like, yeah, as long as you're not keeping it, it's okay. So now we
Because
just
technically you're fishing.
stick and release. Yeah.
Yeah, technically you're fishing, so fuck
Yep.
it. It is what it
Stick and
is.
release. Yeah, we used to pile up the boat with so many fish that we'd barely make it back. We'd have like 2 inches of freeboard.
I wish we had more species other than just fucking carp here, though. Because
I
like you
wanna
see
go
everybody else, like
alligator gar so bad.
me too, man.
We gotta
But
go
they're so
south and
far
do it.
away.
Dude,
I'll tell
we
you what.
just bring the boat down here and we can put in. This river is loaded
Oh,
and
that's
nobody hits it.
That'd be
Oh, I
sick.
didn't even think of that.
Yeah, dude.
And you have blue cats and everything else.
Blue cats, channels, yellows. I mean,
It's
all
only 6 hours.
pretty much anything you could think of. And nobody, the section of river I like to go on, it's shallow, it's deep, and it's got everything.
I'm down. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's make that happen.
You boys are going to get a C.
Yeah, we're actually headed down there. We're leaving here. It would be what, Wednesday, right?
Wednesday.
Yeah, early.
Yeah, so we're headed down there to go turkey hunting to open for their turkey hunting season, which they're opening Saturday, but we're going down on Wednesday and we're gonna hunt Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We might make an actual special trip. I don't know yet, still in the works, but we might meet up with G and shoot some fish, possibly if we can get away with it.
Thanks for the invite, Dick.
I know you.
No problem.
We were
Come
just
on, jump
talking.
in the
You're going
car.
to say that.
Jump in the car. I know with the baby, I know you can't get out.
No.
Especially with the baby. And that's a tough thing. I mean, balancing all that stuff, bro. It's got to be it's got to wear on you. Not wear on you, but it's got to be a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, you just kind of go into survival mode. Like my wife says, she goes from Finding Nemo, I go, just keep swimming. She looks at me, I'll be like ready to pass out. She goes, just keep swimming, babe. Just keep swimming. Well,
You need
5
that
a.m.
support.
is like get up to feed the baby a bottle. I'm like, oh my God. But no, it's at the end of the day when you come home and you see your boys, and there's my older boy. He's so excited to see me. It's like he's glued to my hip. He wants to do everything I'm doing. He's obsessed with dirt, rocks, dinosaurs, diggers, machines. I mean, he's just the kid can occupy himself just playing in a pile of dirt.
And he
That's awesome.
constantly is finding night crawlers, and I mean, he's just into it. He's
Yeah,
gonna
when
be a
fishing-
savage hunter.
I went fishing last weekend and he caught a nice rainbow trout. He was all pumped.
Oh, yeah.
I love seeing pictures of that, man, because you're constantly bringing them out. I mean, last year you were pumpkin seed fishing with them in the pond, and
Yep.
now it's trout, and I can't wait to see him slinging a bow on the front of the rig.
Oh, he's wild, man. He's already been shooting his BB gun at 2.5 years old.
Nice.
You're gonna owe the neighbors some new windows.
Yeah, I'm kind of fearful. I was kind of a hellion growing up, so we'll see.
It's
it's
that day you come home and there's a line of birds on the porch and he's going, look what I got.
You better start butchering, son. You got to eat them. That was my rule growing up. My dad said, anything you kill, you got to eat. But I can't
That's
tell
the
you
rule.
about crows and chipmunks and shit. I ate everything.
Yeah,
And you
that's one
save
of
the
my
skulls of everything
Oh, yeah.
because you have a
Yep.
love for skulls like I do.
Oh, yeah. We have an obsession.
It's a bad thing. Drew also has a colony of bugs, and does the same exact thing as I do with the beetles.
It's
Oh, no
funny.
shit. I didn't know that.
At my old shop, I had it was my first colony. I had just as you walked in, when it came through the metal shop, you came into like the splicing and packaging section, and it was like right there to the left. There was a big fridge that was on its side, and people would ask, "The fuck's in there?" Like, "Oh, don't worry about it. You just flesh-eating beetles."
Dead shit.
I had an exhaust that went all the way outside. It's like you pull into the shop sometimes, you'd be like, "Whoo!"
Try and have that shit at your house, bro.
Trying to pull into
Oh,
Trev's
God,
driveway, bro. I can smell Trev's house down the street.
Yeah.
You get the
So-
win right.
So can all the birds of prey when they're fucking all around my house, and the neighbors are like, "Why is there a fucking
Oh,
turkey
God,
vulture
yeah.
sitting on the top of his house?"
Remember when I put my buddy's elk skull in there last year? It was like, dude, I had buzzards flying around for a week. That or a bear skull, those stink.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Disgusting. Greasy. So
They are.
you found something else with the beetles, actually, that's kind of cool, especially for the bow fishermen. You saved a fin, one of the fins. What fin do you save? And it's
Yeah,
something that's really cool.
It's actually the gill plate. So if you kill a carp, you can feel like right on the outside of their gills, right in the front, they have like these armor plates that are literally bone. So one time we were we had killed a couple carp, and we brought one back that would have won the state record. And it was like we shot it at night, brought it back the next morning. We actually weighed it, after it had been bleeding and in the boat all night. It came in at 53 pounds. I think the record was like 52 or something.
Oh, we're 43-12 right now.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Whatever it was,
You would have smashed
would've
it.
won. Yeah, but anyway, so we had hooked it behind the shop, and a couple weeks later, Bullet, my dog, came back with the actual gill plate. I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "Huh, must be a carp." So I whitened it, and then it came out so cool. And after that, I just started saving them. So they're really, really cool.
It's definitely something to say. I mean, the trophy on it. Just save the fucking gill plate. I think it's the most badass thing ever, dude. And I've never seen it. And I was like, wow, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, no, it's super cool.
Especially to add to the collection, man. It's just it's different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I also started saving all the turkey heads and do turkey skulls. And then when you mount the fan, put the plaque on the fan, and then put the skull like over the beard, so kind of hang the beard behind the skull. It looks sick.
Yeah,
It's pretty
Trev, you're
cool.
going to have to do a couple of those after this trip.
I was hoping he wasn't going to say anything. No.
You're locked in now, man.
Yep. Yeah, I started doing it with a bunch of ducks, like sea ducks, your eiders, your scoters, bluebills. I mean, I did a whole line of them. And it's just cool to have, man. It's just cool what those beetles can actually do.
Yeah, no,
I mean,
it's insane. Once you clean a skull with beetles, you'll never boil another one again.
it's a crazy obsession. People just don't understand it.
No,
They would
they don't
never
understand
understand it.
owning 100,000 flesh-eating beetles.
Especially when they get out of run around the house.
Yeah, no
Oh,
shit.
don't even. That was crazy. I don't think Drew knows about that. So I had ordered from Ken, and I got the box home, and I'm down in the shop, and I'm fucking around with it, and I opened up the box, and one of the containers, like he sent it in a sour cream container, it fucking broke open. So inside of the box, there was just, dude, I had taken all the paper out, and I didn't realize that they were crawling with fucking beetles. Dude, they were all over my basement, and I'm trying to like corral them back up and put them in a jug, and it was not good. Not good
Shit
at
was
all.
hilarious. I ain't going to lie.
Yeah, I'm on the phone with Steven, and my wife comes home. I'm like, "Fuck, this isn't gonna be good." The
No,
day
'cause
she finds,
they'll get into your mounts too.
yeah, that's a lot of people don't understand that. Like, they love foam. They
Yeah.
live in foam, and that's how they breed, is inside of foam. So, like, if you have actual mounts inside of your house, you'll literally come home and your mount will be on the fucking ground.
Yeah, that's what
Antlers
my
and
first
skin.
colony in that fridge. They chewed through the plastic liner into the insulation of the foam, and they were living like inside the fridge. And that's what killed them all.
It's insane. They get into everything, dude. If you don't use the silver HVAC tape, they will literally get into anything and everything, and it will.
Oh yeah.
They're nuts, but they're cool to have, and they definitely make some cool stuff, like with paddlefish, and you can do some very cool, intricate stuff with them.
I've
I've
always
had
wanted to
people.
do like a full skeleton or something.
We were talking about that at Iowa.
Funny you say that, because I actually recently just had somebody ask me to do their entire cat.
Dude, I got so many. When I had my skull taxidermy on my website, I told you how many stories I had of
Mhm.
people wanting me to do their cat or their dog, and
Yeah,
it'd be
with their
like, your dog, like, yeah, did you cut your dog's head off yourself?
yeah.
What kind of fucked up? Did you skin your
That's a
dog's
little
head,
bit
or do you want me to?
morbid.
What the fuck is going on?
Dude.
No, I'm not doing your dog's head or your cat.
Okay,
And
what's the weirdest thing you guys have had to do, or chose to do? I should say.
I refuse to do the cats and dogs.
I refuse to
Um,
do anything other than whitetails or like just weird like chipmunks, squirrels, shit like that. I'm not doing your fucking precious pet. It's just not happening.
no.
I'm not. You.
The
What's the
weird, I
weirdest
did
thing?
the nastiest thing was I hadn't had. I got sick of doing it online with all the CWD bullshit and just trying to get people to ship on time because I would get so many skulls in the mail that would just be rotten. So it was one time my aunt is actually the postmaster, post office in town, and she called me. She was like, Drew, there's a package for you outside. You might want to come get. It really fucking smells. It's been sitting here all weekend. It was like 4th of
Oh
July weekend.
man,
And for 3 days, there's some dude that just didn't even contact me, just sent me a bobcat skull. And it was just, oh, it was disgusting. It wasn't even skin. So it was just literally, it turned into liquid in the box.
oh
It was
You
nasty.
you don't realize the world of people that are out there, man. Like when I started getting into the Beatles and the whole like bone taxidermy thing, the fucking people that are out there that are fucking weird is
Oh,
huge.
yeah.
Weirdest people. They get like mummified like coyote penises and paws and fucking weird shit, man. They are crazy, crazy people out there that just want like the weirdest things, man. But it's cool for me for my collection because I can buy weird things. Like I have a 1 month old Black Angus skull, a stillborn sheep skull, just weird shit that I think is weird, but they think that shit's normal.
dude, the
Yeah, I got
weirdest
my
thing I've ever heard of was a dude lost his hand in an accident and wanted to have his hand done so he could have it with him.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
I was like, whoa, that's kind of morbid.
Can I keep my trigger finger? Can you just
Yeah.
fucking frame?
Trev, if you lost your hand, you'd probably do that, right? I would.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
Yeah.
to bone
Fucking
it. Yeah,
put
I
it on
mean,
a
I got
plaque.
it.
Like, yeah, bro, that was my hand.
I'll add it. I'll add it to my collection of bone. I don't care. Fuck it. If it's
Fuck
my body part, that's fine. But I don't want weird people's things.
Yeah,
Like
no.
I don't know. No, I'm
keep
not into
your
that
dead
stuff.
dog at home. Keep your dead animals at home. That's not. It's just. It's fucking crazy that people want to do stuff like that. I don't get it.
Yeah. I say the
I
coolest skull that I got is definitely the mountain lion.
that's a
That's-
badass skull.
It doesn't get any more badass than that thing.
Yeah.
I've done some badass shit. Like I've done mountain lions, I've done wolves, I've done. You know what the coolest skull is, dude? And I want one in the worst way. And if anybody kills one and doesn't want it, you can send it my way. I'll send you your address. Is I want a javelina skull. I want to
Yeah.
kill a javelina. It's on my list. But the skulls are the most badass things you will ever see in your entire life. Like they're just the coolest little fucking pig skulls you will ever see.
Freaking beaver skulls are pretty sick too. People don't understand, what the teeth. Like
And
after the skull is done, you take that tooth and you pull it out and it just keeps coming and coming and coming. And thing's like 6 inches long. Like
Yeah,
the
people
teeth
don't
are
understand that.
insane.
Yeah, muskrats are the same exact way. They're just a
Yep.
miniature. They're just a miniature beaver.
Yep.
I mean, dude, squirrel skulls are wicked cool. I've got chipmunk skulls. I mean, they're all badass. And to save them, and you know what? For anybody who's like listening to this and like, well, I can't get beetles, so on and so forth. Another way to do small game is actually finding an old crock pot. And what you do is you put it on low and you take the skull and you put it in water in a Ziploc bag. So you skin it out
You
and
basically
then you
sous vide it.
yeah, literally.
They
They call it
macerate
macerate. Yeah, they call it macerate. But you can actually take it and put it inside the crock pot on low and it will actually, cook the meat right off of it and then you can whiten them that way. So that's another way of doing it for everybody who doesn't have beetles. So you can still have a cool skull collection also.
I don't
or you can send
recommend
it to us.
anyone uses their wife's good cooking crock pot.
Oh, I'm about to piss off Mrs. Ghost Hunter real soon.
Don't do it inside the fucking house. I don't know how many times do you see on the internet guys are fucking boiling skulls on
Oh,
their
God,
fucking
yeah.
stoves.
in their garage.
Oh, dude, I'm guilty. I'm not gonna lie. I have done it because it was the only option I had at the time. My wife hated me.
Buy a fucking turkey roaster and do that shit outside. Some things are not meant to be inside, and boiling skulls on the stove is not one of them.
Hey, I trimmed most of the meat off. I debrained it. I cleaned it up, so it was pretty much
Doesn't
just
matter.
meat. It
I think I
helped.
just puked in my mouth.
I remember when I was boiling skulls. That's why got beetles, because I had between me and my buddies, one day we started boiling skulls. We had like 8 of them, and we're halfway through it. We ran out of propane. My buddy's well, his dad came out. We had to stop using the well because it was running low. We're like, this is fucking stupid. Like, literally boil them, put your rain gear on, power washing the shit off. You got brains and shit hitting you in the face. It was like, this really sucks. And then when the skull's done, there's still shit inside the nasal cavity. You break the nasal cavity, blow it apart.
Oh yeah.
Once you get one clean with the beetles, it's like, it's literally pristine. And you don't have to do
Everything
shit.
is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole nasal
It's
cavity, you can see everything.
It's
Hardest
like
part is keeping the
museum
bugs
quality.
alive. Yeah.
Yeah, people don't understand that and how expensive they are and how fucking tough they are with moisture and
Yeah.
temperature.
How many
And
colonies of yours have died?
bro, it's insane.
A lot.
A
Yeah,
lot.
my last one totally wiped out.
You get mites or you get this, or with moisture, they got to be at 30% moisture and this temperature, and it gets crazy. But or bugs, other bugs get inside of them. You don't realize what spiders will do to a beetle colony.
That's what I had, spiders. Yep.
I mean, ants, any of them, they all carry diseases, and they'll definitely fuck them up. So I got to ask, we're talking about weirdest things. What was the weirdest thing that ever happened with you traveling hunting?
I gotta do a pee break first, though.
Oh, you always have to do pee
Dude,
breaks.
it's been a while.
I know. I forgot about that. That you're like the worst pee break guy ever.
I'll be right back.
All right. So during this break, there are a few people we want to reach out, say thanks to, let you know who they are, and where you can look into them. Trev, who do you got?
Nor'easter Game Calls. Get them in close. Nor'eastergamecalls.com. Get your Prospector series. Your Ghost series Crow Call.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly. Go on there, Nor'easter Game Calls. Check them out. Get the little mother clucker with the Outdoor Drive logo. Get on there. Check out, crow calls, grunt calls. Don't forget about your grunt calls for the upcoming fall season. Also, Broadside Camo. BroadsideCamo.com. Go on there. Get your Ascender series, your Versa Light series for your turkey hunting this coming up season at BroadsideCamo.com. Use promo code Outdoor Drive. Also, EthicsArchery.com. Ethics Archery. If you don't shoot ethics,
fuck you.
use promo code Outdoor Drive 10 to save yourself some at EthicsArchery.com. Also, get Jillified at Wicked Twisted Bowstrings. WickedTwistedBowstrings.com. Go and help her out. Check her out. She's doing 20% off. What's the promo code on that one? Shit.
Outdoor Drive.
No. She has her own. No, she has her own promo code that she's running 20% off. I think you can find it at wickedtwistedbowstrings.com. Also, deathwishcoffee.com. Deathwish Coffee, fueled by death. The Deathcast with the wicked, amazing Jeff. Promo code Outdoor Drive. Also, D&M Custom Arrows. DMArrows.com. You want custom arrows? Check them out. Gary Hall at D&M Custom Arrows.
And we're back from the world's quickest piss break.
World's quickest piss break. Sorry. So, Drew, as we were asking before, what's the craziest thing that you've seen while you were on the road hunting?
For work?
Yeah.
I say the craziest place was I was in Guam for a couple months, killing Philippine deer and pigs. So those deer were pretty crazy. And just the environment there, just working in the jungle, that was pretty nuts. We were working on the naval mag in the Anderson Air Force Base. Killed a couple thousand deer and over 1,000 pigs.
Wow, that's insane. What are those deer like?
They're weird. They're kind of like a mini elk. their rack looks like an elk, but like a big male would be, it's a little smaller than a whitetail.
Is it like a
But
Sika?
they kind of look like one. I'd say a little bigger than a Sika. But they're weird. They have like this kind of like a bark, like it'll be dark in the middle of the jungle and you hear like this. It's just a weird bark, like they almost sound like a dog.
Huh.
That's
But
gnarly.
yeah, they're
Like
pretty cool.
similar to an elk bark.
No, it would be. You could probably Google it, look it up. It's kind of like almost like a scream bark.
No
I got
shit.
some videos on it. It's pretty cool.
That's badass.
Yep.
Did you eat any of them when you were out there?
We donated all the deer were donated to the locals. It's a delicacy out there, but it was a weird thing. The Philippines, they had a tradition that they would make head soup. So they skin the skull, put the whole entire thing in soup and brains in it and everything. Well, the fucked up part was every animal we shot was shot in the head with a lead projectile. And we used super frangible bullets, 40-grain bullets that go in the head and do not exit. So they explode inside the head. So you have all that shards of lead inside the head, and they're boiling the soup and eating it.
Oh, jeez.
So we had to put labels on the bags, do not consume.
Yeah, we'll pass on that one.
Yeah.
That's fucking gnarly.
No one dug out like a couple back straps or tenderloins before you dropped them off. You never got into that meat.
No, we never messed with the deer meat.
Yep.
And the pigs we couldn't donate because of trichinosis, USDA regulations.
Yeah.
But we ate a few pigs.
So I guess you just led right into one of our segments, and it is when you're on the drive, what is your favorite fuel? Meaning your go-to food when you're on the road.
I'd say jerky.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Okay, well, you got to go a little more in depth.
Yeah,
are we
why is
talking
that?
Teriyaki, peppered, turkey, venison? What's your go-to?
I'm a peppered guy.
All right, now we're talking.
Jerky. I had I think over 150 pounds of beef when I did my last 2 steers, and I had the butcher make it into jerky, and it just came out unbelievable.
Hell yes.
Wow, the butcher did it for you? You didn't have to do it yourself?
Yeah, he's like, because he kept saying, you want me to do this? You want me to do that? Short ribs, this, that. Smoke this, smoke that. I'm like, fuck yeah. And then he looks at me and goes, I don't really offer this to many people, but you want me to make you jerky too? I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Load it up.
Because you guys know how much of a chore it is to make jerky.
Ugh.
I just pulled out 2 packages of elk to do it for our trip this coming week. It's going to be it's a process. It's a labor of love. Yeah, I got some shit coming up this weekend. I don't even know.
Don't get us going already. You're gonna give fucking
this road fuel could be a bad idea because every time we do it, we're gonna end up hungry. Just face it.
That's the kind of guy you bring to a deer camp.
Fuck yeah.
Oh yeah. Why do we keep him around?
All those pictures he's posting, it's like, damn.
Dude, you don't even know. That's why people keep me around.
It's the only reason I'm friends with them.
That's why I went on so many hunting trips when I was a kid. They were like, if you cook for us, you could fucking come. Like, fuck yeah, I'm all about it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. And that's the thing. Since we're quarantined right now, I have been doing recipes that take like 2 or 3 days long because I have the fucking time. I have time to brine. I have time to smoke. I have time to dry. It's like if you're like looking for something to do and you like to cook, right now is the kind of fucking time to do some fun shit. So I got some cool recipes coming out, some different stuff that I've been working on that can't wait to share with you because I know you want to get in the kitchen. You want to learn how to fry some shit up.
Yeah, I just did a beef broth for the first time with all the knuckle bones. That was a process.
Did you roast the bones first?
I did, yep. Put them in the oven, roasted them, and then I had them simmering on the stove for over a day, over 24 hours.
How many times did you fill it up and reduce it by half?
I might have added water to it once.
Nice.
But then I strained it. Then I let it sit outside and all the fat came to the top.
Yep.
And I scooped the fat off, which I assume was the right thing to do.
Yeah, for your stock.
Yeah, but stock, I know it's super healthy for you. It wasn't the best tasting stuff in the world, but it was pretty good.
Well, next time you get some more beef bones, I'll show you a couple tricks to make that shit taste really sweet.
Oh, dude, I have a ton. The butcher gave me everything.
Yeah,
I got some weird shit I wouldn't even know what to do with. You got to come over and just I'll give you whatever
Yeah,
you
I
want.
mean,
Show me the
I'm
rope.
I'm all about it. I'd love to share some little tips on making that shit really nice.
Because
Because
I've heard oxtail is the best beef broth to make from.
oh yeah,
So
it's
I
a lot
have,
of fat,
you know,
but it's really great meat.
that's what I've heard. You can eat it too. Yep. Shit, I got
You know,
pig
if you
feet.
can.
I don't even know what to do with that. I have all the pig fat, the lard.
All right, well, we'll do some episodes. We'll get together, go to
Yeah,
your house, you come to my new lab, and as soon as this quarantine slows down a little bit, we'll jump in the kitchen.
I'm down with that.
So you're like a man that lives off the land too. Seems like.
Yeah, yeah. I grew
I
up
mean, you're
on
like
the farm next door to my house. I worked there all through middle school, high school. When I got back from college, so I grew up raising cattle. So once we got the land, I just dove right back into it. We did pigs, and we had 2 cows and 4 pigs last year. My cousin and I. Well,
it's the
three
way to
cows. One,
live.
one cow got loose for 5 weeks, and I ended up shooting in
Oh,
the head
that's
in the
right.
middle of the woods.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yep, wild cow. But yeah,
So be Hmm? Go
It's a
ahead.
ton of work. I don't know if you process any of your animals. I know you said you had a
yep,
butcher, and to process cattle and pigs is a massive amount of work.
yeah. So
Um,
I'll process all my deer, any wild game. And when I did pigs the first time a couple years ago, I did it all by myself. And
right,
I said I'd never do it again until I had a real setup, like a
right,
cooler, an industrial kitchen with a drain in the floor. I mean, a bigger grinder because those 2 pigs, I can remember my dad and I, we were grinding meat for a day and a half and
right.
packaging and grinding and packaging. And then just to kill them, then we scalded them, scraped all the hair off. It was hot. There was flies. We're trying to keep the meat right, bringing the quarters to the smokehouse. It was a freaking chore. So I said I'd never do it again until I had the legit setup. So I found this butcher a couple towns over, and he came, picked up the picked up the cows and the pigs same time, same trailer, took them to Rhode Island to a USDA kill facility, killed them, hung them there, and then he packaged them all, chirovac them. Everything's beautifully labeled. It was just it was a no brainer. Then he made me hot dog, kielbasa, sausage, you name it. So he had a
Oh,
Hell
full
that's
yeah.
awesome,
smokehouse
man.
there as well. So it was a no
Yeah, the
brainer.
amount of
You put all
work,
that
the
you
amount
put
of
all the money
work,
and work into raising them. It's like I don't want to fuck up the meat
fuck it
unless I'm
up.
yeah.
Yeah, the first time I did my full pig by myself, I was a day and a half into it. And you
Oh yeah.
want to save everything. And I mean, I'm saving the inner fats. I mean, we're getting ready to make charcuterie. We're doing all the feet, we're doing, porchettas and roasts. It's like 2 days into it, it's out of control. So it's
Oh
just
yeah.
like when I first shot my an elk in Oregon, I told everyone, I'm like, I want to butcher this thing and do it myself, and they all laughed at me. I was young, I could tackle the world, and then I did my first pig, and I'm like, fuck that. And that's what you were saying. Like, you need the facility, you need a commercial space, drains, coolers, refrigerators, all the nine. And
Yeah,
until I
that and
got
you have
that,
to, age the meat. So how in the world am I gonna hang two 600-pound steers, you know?
right,
You have to have a
right.
walk-in cooler. So yeah, it's a lot of work. And it's like, raising the animals, you're not doing it to make money. I sell quite a bit of it, but at the end of it, you're lucky if you break even. You just do it because I love raising the meat and
You
having
know
a
where it's coming
freezer
from,
exactly, feeding my family good shit.
right?
So
That's
right
good
now
for your
you're not
kid.
having to go to the grocery store and stock up.
No, everyone's freaking out. It's like video posted a picture. It's like I have a 8 foot long chest freezer that's stock full, and then a stand up tall freezer that's completely chock full of anything you ever want. So now, everyone when you're raising animals, like, okay, I'll put you down. How do you want, a quarter cow, half a cow? And they're like, oh yeah, yeah, I'll take a half cow, no problem. And they come, they see how much it is, and they're like, oh no, I'll just take a couple steaks.
Yeah,
And then now this
exactly.
quarantine started, everyone's freaking. My phone's blowing up. Hey, you got any meat? Got any meat?
Nope.
Yeah, you're not being cheap now, are you?
Exactly.
That's crazy.
You
So
know,
This is a
I gotta. Oh, no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is a time for hunters to be thriving. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
for
Yeah,
to have what we have in our freezers, our fridge, our canning, from just whatever we've been doing, like, we're designed for this whole pandemic right now.
exactly.
that's where I was gonna go. Is like it's crazy that people like talk all that on us when it comes to hunting and so on and so forth. But then when things like this happen, everybody wants to know. I mean, How many gun background checks was there, Steve?
It was like 181,000 as of like 2 days ago.
Yeah, and they were non prior gun owners.
Yeah, like
And
all
now
first
everybody's
time buyers.
Biggest gun sales, and I forget how many years they said, but and they said, and how many mass shootings have we had? None.
0.
Yeah, that's funny. I've had so many family members that, my in-laws and everyone that don't own guns come to me. Hey,
Can I borrow
a gun?
one?
Yeah, like oh, you thought guns were stupid before because we've had so
Yeah.
many break-ins around here. We had 6 in the last 2 days, like within a
Jeez.
quarter mile of my house. Guys, they're coming from the city, opening cars just to steal change. And my sister's boyfriend actually he's building a new shop, so he bought this property, cleared it. He had a couple Connex boxes on his property where he's a landscaper, kept all his, power tools, chainsaws, blowers, everything. Someone broke into that and stole over $15,000 worth of shit.
Whoa.
Fucking
That
hate
was
thieves.
a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
Well, these
That
fuckers are going to
sucks.
realize they're eventually going to open the wrong door and
Exactly.
figure out that's not a good idea.
Yep.
Especially
Can't
now
wait.
with everybody being a gun owner. Good luck, bub.
Yeah, no shit.
And I'm sure
Yeah.
they're all experienced gun owners too, and they all know how to fucking use them. I'm pretty sure.
We had an
All
old
102,000 of them.
we had an old saying for a long time. All we just look at each other and go, "Wish a motherfucker would."
My wife got so pissed. It was a couple weeks ago. My sister's boyfriend came over. He's like, "Hey, can I borrow a gun?" I'm like, yeah, you know how to use it? He's like, yeah, kinda. I shot it a couple times. I'm like, all right. So we just walked into the backyard and dumped a couple clips of 9mm at like 10 o'clock at night. I'm
Hell
like,
yeah.
impressed. I'm like, hey, I'd rather you know how to use it.
Yep, exactly. And that's the responsible thing.
Right.
But why do we need all these gun sales during a pandemic? Like, unless you're going hunting, which there's no season open where we're at right now. Like, I just don't get, like, what are you going to, toilet paper wars, pasta pirates? I mean, there's no yeast or dry pasta in the stores and guns. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
The apocalypse is coming, man.
Dude, it's too many people sitting on their asses watching fucking Netflix and would-be documentaries about how the world's going to end.
Or the Tiger King.
Oh, God, don't even get me
fucking
started.
don't even.
Trev, I don't even
can't.
want to hear it, dude.
Bro, it's my
Can't.
favorite show, bro.
I
I'm
know
about to
it.
watch
Get
it
the
for my
fuck
third
out of
time.
here.
It looks
No.
so stupid. And it's like every morning I was feeding my son. I'm like, fuck it. Everyone's talking about it. One morning I'm like, I'll just check it out. And then you just get like addicted to it. I watched like the whole series in 2 days.
I've
Everybody-
yet to turn it on. I refuse to.
Don't.
gotta
Everybody
watch
was everybody was talking about it, right? So me and Johnny were talking about it because they were going to talk about it on the podcast, and they were, he's like, "Fuck that thing! That thing's the dumbest thing, Trevor. Don't ever do it. Don't watch it." And of course, it's like your parents telling you not to do something. Of course, you fucking turn it on and you watch it. Now you watch the whole entire series. You're like, "All right, I feel way stupider, but it's definitely fucking worth watching." Like,
Oh, that's
every
fucking funny.
every page you turn, it gets worse and worse, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And then it ends, and you're like, "All right, so what happened to Jeff, and what happened to this?" And like, then you realize that it was actually recent, and there probably
yeah.
will be a sequel to that because there has to be, because there's so much good shit in there. And they're just raging token fucking rednecks, which you're like, he lived a life.
Drug addict, cat raising, illegal rednecks.
Okay, so
and like,
And
dude,
the one
episode
dude's
2,
got 2 husbands, and the other fucking dude's got like 4 wives.
and they got no
Yeah.
fucking teeth.
300 tigers. You say that the crazy dude with the husbands, what's his name? Joe.
Yeah, Joe Exotic.
They said to feed the 200 some tigers, it took 30 cows a day.
day.
Jesus.
30 cows a day.
Yeah, it was like $200,000 a year in fucking feed for these things.
Bunch of meth smoking fucking crazy token fucking
rednecks. Trev, when we were going to Iowa and I lost service, and when I came back in, I said, dude, I just drove through the weirdest fucking part of West Virginia you ever saw.
Yeah.
It's pretty much there.
It's just nuts. Did you see a tiger?
Do they have tigers?
Dude, the only thing I was looking for was the next fucking main road to the interstate. That place was
crazy.
fucking weird.
So, Drew, speaking of tigers and ligers and all that good shit, man, you killed the mountain lion.
I did.
I think
Killed a
not
lion.
many people do that. You want to take us through that?
Yeah, we were. I went out to my buddy's outfitting business in Idaho. My uncle, my cousin, my buddy. We went out 2 years ago, mainly to kill elk, and they had the head guide, Andy, he was obsessed with running dogs for bear and lions. And he actually started this outfitting business because he said he was just going broke and all he ever wanted to do was hunt. And he said if he didn't become an outfitter, he would have lost his house, his family, everything. He was that addicted to hunting. So he started this outfitting business, super successful. Um, and we're elk hunting, and we were a little late in the season. The wolves had moved in, so we were into wolves like every day. They were everywhere. Found fresh kills. They were howling. I actually got a cool story about pissed my pants a couple times. But anyway, we had about 30 dogs, and we're staying at the camp. The dogs are all there. His family lives there, and we got super close to the whole family. And we're helping feed the dogs at night. And then it was like the third day into it, bear season open for running dogs. And looked at my buddy. He's like, he kept talking about as we're elk hunting. I'm like, this sounds fucking insane. He's like, you want to go bear hunting? I'm like, fuck yeah. So my uncle, everyone's like, are you serious? You'd rather kill a bear and run dogs and go elk hunting? I'm like, fuck yeah. Got to try it, And so the first morning we go out, and it was insane. I got so addicted. I would rather do that than I wanted to bear hunt the rest of the week than other than elk hunt. So first times, like you're driving, you got the truck, you got the dogs in the back of the truck in the boxes, and you have the side by side on a trailer behind the truck, and you put the two strike dogs, which are the lead dogs, on top of the box. They're chained to the box, and I got a YouTube video on it on our YouTube channel, and it's just the rush you get when those dogs strike. So when they strike scent, the strike dogs will strike, and then the dogs in the box, when they know it's time, they start striking, which is obviously they're just howling. Your adrenaline just spikes. It's insane. Then you let the lead dogs go. They jump off the truck, and it's so funny because they know the difference between a hot scent and a cold scent, hot trail and a cold trail. Sometimes they'll hit the ground, and they'll just stop barking, sniff around, take a piss, jump back on the box. Like, all right, let's go. Other times, they'll run a little bit into the woods, and you're watching on a GPS tracker. They'll run, 150 yards, 200 yards, and they'll come right back. Like, nope, not good. Hop back on the truck. So the first day, we actually ran a bear for 5.5 hours.
Jeez.
But then the strike dogs, once it's a hot trail, because the main dog, Fester, if it was a hot trail, he would never stop barking. Or if it was a cold trail, the second he got off the box, he'd stop barking. So strike dogs go, and then each side of the box, my buddy would grab a door, I'd grab the other door, he'd let the other 12 dogs go, and it is just like a massacre, just running. You're just driving the log roads. They dip into the woods, and then you can see when they're closer to the bear, and then you're trying to cut. So the smaller bears, they'll just run before they tree until they get tired. The bigger bears, 500-600 pounders, will stop and fight and kill dogs. So it's just crazy to see how fast and how far a bear can run. This bear outran 12 dogs. I'm talking up mountains, down mountains. We're 8,000-10,000 feet in elevation. Like they're going around mountains, up mountains, down mountains, and finally dogs start dropping back. And the craziest thing is you're like, now you have 12 dogs running around, hundreds of thousands of acres. How the fuck do you get them back? What is crazy? So the dogs will never go alone. They'll always stay in a pair when they drop back. So the bigger dogs will drop back. They'll hear your wheeler, and they'll come and find you. All of a sudden, you look at the GPS. Up here comes Fester. Here comes Duke. Boom! You throw them in the side by side, and you start rounding up dogs. And then you look down and like, oh, there's whoever and whoever. They're just sitting by a gate. And I'm talking. There's elk hunters all over the place. Like there's a truck 100 yards from these dogs, and they know that's not their owner. So they sit by that gate and wait for you. It's absolutely insane. So then it was like the second day. We finished elk season, and then the following day, a couple days before, we had been at the grocery store getting beer and food and stuff, and I saw that you could buy tags there. I said, "What the fuck's a mountain lion tag cost?" It's like $80. I'm like, "What are the chances we tree a lion?" He goes, "Slim to none." In the fall, I said, unless the cats don't have much scent, so that's why they track them in the wintertime. They put them on a
Catch
fresh
them
set
in the
of tracks.
snow and get on a fresh cut.
So in the fall, in September, October, he said you'd literally have to drive right by them. They'd have to strike within, 50 yards of the actual cat. They said it's pretty rare. I said, well, $80 is worth a chance. So we were all bear hunting that day. We had two groups of dogs going, my uncle, cousin, my buddy and I. My buddy and I were in one truck, and the dogs immediately just struck. It had just gotten light, and let the strike dogs go. Boom, they treed what we thought was a bear right away. So we had our bows and the guides had guns, and we had thought we were going to cut what we thought was a bear off on the road. We thought it was going to cross the road, so I just grabbed the guide's gun, ran down the road, but then we saw that the dogs had treed, so we ran in. We were running up the mountain into the woods. My buddy and I were the first ones there, and we look up in the tree. We're like, "Holy shit, that is not a bear! Like that is a fucking mountain
Hell
lion."
yeah.
And these dogs are going ape shit. I'm talking the dogs are like biting the tree, crawling up the tree. It's like the craziest sound in the world. It's like addicting. Like I would love to hear that sound again. And so then my guy gets there and we're walking around. We leash all the dogs up and I'm walking around the tree. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like there's no way I could get a shot. It was so thick. And the thing was only, 15 feet off the ground, but I could walk up the hill and just be eye level with him. And it's like, their dark black eyes. He's just like staring at you. There's steam coming out of his nose, and he's just like tail swaying, but he's not breathing hard. He's just super calm, just staring at you like I'll kill you. So then the guide, I had one of the guides, 243s. The other guy looks at me, my buddy, he goes, "You want a bigger gun?" I'm like, "What do you got?" There's a 308. I'm like, "Yep, that'll do." He's like, "All right, find a shot. Let me know when you got a shot." So I was like literally right under the line. Oh yeah, I could shoot him right in the chest. Yeah, just tell me before you're gonna shoot, and after you shoot, step up. This guy's super redneck. He's like, "Step up the hill." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "It's gonna jump at you." Like, oh, fuck. Okay. That made me like really focus on the shot. I'm like, I can't shoot in the head because I want the skull. So I put it right in his chest, and it just fell, hit the ground, and yeah, it was freaking awesome. And then
That's got to be one of the scariest things in the world, though.
It was cool. The craziest thing, he said, whoever you're with, whoever has a gun and they're going to shoot the lion looks at that person like they know. They said the craziest thing is though, when you have kids with you, they always lock onto the kids.
Oh no shit.
Oh yeah.
Even if the dude's pointing a gun at the lion, that lion's looking at the kids.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Because they just know.
I guess.
Oh dude, there's cats or something else. If you've never had one scream at you from a tree limb as you walk under it, you've never felt true fear.
Yeah, he never screamed. I wish he had, but he was just super calm. And then we treed 2 other bears that my cousin and buddy shot. And it's funny, the bears are up in the tree. They're panting, breathing heavy. They're, just rustling around. They're moving. They're all freaked out. This lion was just like staring at you like, what the fuck are you going to do?
Yep. Dude, they're cool. Insane.
Wow, but just to watch the dogs work that was incredible. Like watching a bird dog work is cool. Watching bear dogs run is absolutely insane.
Yeah, I used to coon hunt a lot with treeing walkers, and it is like, dude, when those things let out and they tree, it is one of the craziest things in the world. Like you're saying, they bite the tree, they fucking try and get up it. Like you don't realize how high a dog can actually climb in a tree when they're trying to get a coon, dude.
They're ruthless too, and it's cool because after you shoot an animal, you let the dogs go a couple at a time, let them off the leash. The reward is to bite and shake around the lion or the bear. But it's funny, they don't rip the fur or anything. They just grab onto it and shake and like, you know what I mean? They're not like, a dog run up to a dead deer and start ripping the hair out. They don't mess with the fur at all. They just grab it and they're just like really biting it. It's pretty cool.
That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, it's funny. The guy, the dogs are, they're chained up at their house in the little dog house all year long. And the only time they get off is when they go hunt. So they know you go out the night before and you put all their GPS collars in front of which dogs you're taking. So you know to put them on in the morning. And the second you put that collar down, they know. Like they're going. And they get so amped. It's insane. And the guy, the dogs he doesn't, when they're at home chained up, he doesn't walk up to them and kiss them and love them, nothing. They're dogs. It's a whole different world. The second they tree something, he treats them like they're the cutest little puppy in the world. He's hugging them and kissing them. He's so freaking proud of them. It's pretty cool.
Well, they know that they got to do work, man.
Yeah. Oh, it's awesome.
It's crazy how they're actually like a tool, and then they get their love after, and they know they don't have the love and affection before, but they have it after once they actually do what they're supposed to do, and they just it's insane, man.
It's cool. They work as a pack, like what's in their blood. They're running like a wolf pack. They have their leader, they have their subordinates, and then you have the younger dogs that it might be their first hunt, so they have no clue what to do, but they just follow.
And that's how they learn.
Yep.
It's like people.
It should be like kids.
So You're on the outdoor drive, man. So we ask one question and one question only here, and that is, what drives you outdoors?
It's in my blood, man. It's just I guess it's just an instinctual just feeling. It's that drive that you want to go. You have to go. Like I'll be cooped up even in the off season. I turn into a workaholic and I'm just constantly working and family and work and I just have that desire where it's like, you know what? I gotta go coyote hunting. I just gotta go in the woods. I gotta do something. And once you're in the woods, it's like everything makes sense. So it's what keeps me sane.
Absolutely, man. It's like that. It's that common. It just calms you right down. Like you're go go
Yeah.
go go go, and then you get in the woods, and then
It's
boom,
like,
balance.
during bow season I'll be, pacing back and forth. I'm checking the weather app at least 20 times a day. It's like I cannot focus. All I'm thinking about is that afternoon hunt or the next day or should I just keep working today because tomorrow the wind's gonna be better. We're gonna have better pressure system tomorrow. So should I wait? And I'm just like pacing around. Lydia's like, she'll look at me and go, just get the fuck out of here. Just go hunt. I'll go. Fuck it.
Oh,
But yeah,
that's
no,
awesome.
it's an addiction.
So I mean, we're winding down, dude. And is there something you want to leave the people with? Anything new from Wild Edge? Anything coming out? What's going on?
We got a lot of cool shit coming out this summer. But I'd say if you're skeptical about saddle hunting, nothing to it. Just give it a try. I mean, keep everything simple and just do what works for you. And it's definitely a game changer. So just get out there, make your life a little more simple and safer. Just have at it.
So again, where can they find you? Where's the best place to locate you? I know you're on
Anything.
YouTube.
Yep. Wild Edge Inc. INC. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and our website, wildedgeinc.com.
And do you want to let them know the new news?
No, it's top secret, man.
All right.
Sneaky secret squirrel.
We got cool shit coming out. Just keep
No,
checking it out.
I'm saying the new news with Outdoor Drive and Wild Edge.
Oh yeah, I got your back. However you want to phrase it, I'm here for you,
Yeah.
boys.
Yeah, we'll be all working together, so you'll be hearing a lot about Wild Edge from here on out. So
That's right. And I have a hell of a team. I'll have you two. Trevor's already swinging from a saddle. I have the other two guys saddled up here soon.
Yeah, it'll be nice to be in the right gear.
Oh yeah, they look at tree stands after getting a saddle like, what in the fuck was I thinking?
Oh yeah. Well, I was on the saddle all last year, but let's just say the experience wasn't great because the equipment wasn't correct. So it's going to be nice to
I can fix
transition.
that up for you. Yep.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's always fun. It's a good time, and man, we can't thank you enough for joining us. So
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. And once this quarantine's done, can't wait to catch up with you guys, stick some fish.
oh yeah, we're gonna have a good time for
Turkey,
sure.
turkey.
Cooking, stick some fish, kill some shit. It's gonna be a
Oh,
good
yeah.
time.
it's gonna be
Oh,
ugly.
yeah. Well, for everyone out there, we want you guys to really take this time to go out and live wild, and
That's right.
appreciate you guys taking the ride right here on the Outdoor Drive.